Hey everyone. So I was just driving home, and I always want to make these videos when I'm driving because I'm always so inspired, but I don't want to be unsafe. So I thought I would just talk at you for a minute and tell you what I was thinking. I read back in, I don't know, my late 20s, a book called Conversations with God by Neil Donald Walsh. It was a series, and it's really good. If you haven't read it, definitely check it out. Um, it was like one of the first pieces of literature that expanded my mind, really, and made me feel empowered as a person. And one of the things that it was talking about was um, how we enter and exit, or exit and enter, whatever, dimensions, different dimensions all the time, and vibrational frequencies. I didn't really get it. Like, I mean, I kind of understood the gist of what he was trying to say, but it didn't really occur to me until recently because now I've got more of a grasp on what timelines are and how dimensions work, and it's more vibration. So it just occurred to me because I couldn't fathom, like, I thought it was so much more mystical than what it I think actually is, which is when we are think about so I went somebody recently described, and this is so true, as a radio station. Like, you're tuning different frequencies, you're tuning into different stations. So think about that when you're thinking about it, like a timeline shift, or thinking about other versions of you, uh, and having different experiences, and how they talk now lately about like the timeline shifting is, I think, how I'm correlating it here. So different dimensions, other sort of, I think Michio Kaku calls them like bubble universes, or somebody in that arena refers to them as that. And so, you're basically in a frequency, and you can vibe in and out of that frequency and have other experiences in another similar frequency, but different. It's like a different, like, the energy's slightly different. It's tuned in a way, where the song goes a little different. It's higher pitched in this place. Another way to think about it that I explained and heard recently was really cool, as a record player. So timeline shifting would be like jumping to a more expanded, or what are the outer rings of the record, or whatever tracks, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, this might confuse the hell out of you. It did for me for a while. I mean, it didn't, but it did. I get a sense of it. It's like I can feel the truth in my body, which sometimes the truth is funny like that, where you feel it rather. And I'm getting, with my Scorpio North Node, becoming super like psychic without really, like, is it starting to like more realize it now? But how things just occur to us. So, like, when to pay attention to feelings or things that you get, and are they based in fear, and where are you feeling the fear in your body, and how is it moving through you? You know what I mean? Is Where is it coming from? Is it coming from a place of fear, or is the thought neutral, or did it come from some place? There's learning these. This is How to Be Human 101. Start with Neil Donald Walsh's book. There's a ton of other books too. And the more expanded your mind gets, the more you can kind of digest a little more. So, um, anyway, if you want to reach out, please feel free. I'm going to be starting a podcast with a couple different friends, actually. I've been wanting to do a podcast for a while, so I do have the equipment to do it, and I'm going to be starting to do it. And this will be the means in which you see it. So I'll post it here, and then I'll share it on other places. The one is going to be a couple of different episodes. The one is going to be about plant medicine. I work in the cannabis industry, and there is a lot of misinformation, a lot of disinformation, and sadly a lot of still stigma, negative stigma around this plant and this piece of nature that helps and works with us in ways and absolutely can be abused, just like anything can be. But let's remove the stigma because those were based on lies and they were based on government propaganda a long time ago. And, well, it's still residual. And, they're changing the laws in order to reflect um, the science. Um, But again, it's done a lot of damage. It's done a lot of damage to marginalized communities, people of color, intentionally to feed privatized prisons. I know this is all very controversial. I don't even know if this is even allowed here. They'll probably remove me because I'm shouting truth. That's what they do. But anyway, um, it's going to be educational, informative, and, we're going to hopefully attempt to remove some of the stigma that is harming relationships and people, and literally harming people in a lot of ways. So, um, really necessary, really important. I'm very invested. I work at a doctor's office that I do wellness consults on this subject. So I am, you know, able to contribute to that, and I hope to learn more and have some real cool people on and some interesting conversations. So that'll be one, and then the other one's going to be more holistic topics. Um, I do have somebody who wants to collaborate. I think I have a bug in my eye. Um, a yoga teacher, so it'll be very holistic. And I do life coaching just right at the tail end of my program, but I've got a degree in metaphysical science. So, teaching and studying meditation for a long time and holistic modalities. I've been doing energy work. There's definitely a bug in my eye. Um, so, tune back in and let me know in the comments if there's a subject that you'd be interested in learning about or hearing more about. And I will find a way. I am a resourceful networking a social butterfly. So, you know, let me seek these people out so that I can assist and serve in these ways. So I hope you are all doing well, particularly this week with the astrological placements. I do talk about astrology, but I am not an advanced student. I'm an intermediate student. I know more than most, and I could probably tell you a lot. I've been studying it for almost 2 decades, but um, definitely there's people who could enlighten you way more. What I used to do was listen to videos and then I'd given a little synopsis of what they said and kind of try and break it down for like average people to understand who don't really know astrology. Um, so I might do that too in another video, but essentially we're gonna have a full moon in Aries. I think Thursday the 17th. Um, Chiron is, I think, is still in Aries, or at least it's on an Aries axis. And there's some squares and some, we're in just eclipse season, so there's a lot. And if you reach out, I will definitely recommend some awesome people to listen to that can give you some really good information. So I hope this serves, and I love you all.